Hi dear students, hope that the last class and the last lesson was clear to you, and today we are going to learn a new chapter. Chapter 2, the wet makes an impression. You may take page number 16. There a brief description about the author it is given, and the author of this story it is James Herriot, and his real name it is James Alfred Witt. And he is a veterinary surgeon. Veterinary surgeon means the one who treats the animals, the doctor who treats the animals. And now you come back to page number 13. The vet makes an impression. The vet here means the veterinary surgeon or the doctor, and here it is the author or the narrator. And the narrator, James Herriot, he was a veterinary surgeon, and he was working and he was a trainee under Siegfried Farnon, and under his training, what were the experiences Dr. James Herriot got, that we discussed in this story. And you can take that first paragraph. The following incident is an excerpt from the semi-autobiographical book All Creatures Great and Small by James Herriot. James Herriot, he is a veterinary surgeon, at the same time he is a writer, and he wrote many books related to animals based on his life experience. And this excerpt or the paragraph that we are going to study, that is an extract taken from semi-autobiographical book. Semi-autobiographical means partly discussing about one's own life. All Creatures and Great and Small. That is the title of the book, All Creatures Great and Small. And this extract is taken from that book. And here in this story, this incident talks, this particular incident that we are going to discuss in this story, it talks about his days as a young vet in training. The trainee. Okay, he was a trainee under eccentric Siegfried Farnon. Here eccentric means so much dedicative, concentrative. So he was a trainee under Siegfried Farnon, and he got a particular experience while he was doing his training under Siegfried Farnon. And that experience only we will see in this story. I hardly noticed the passage of the weeks as I rattled along the moorland roads on my daily rounds, but the district was beginning to take shape. The people to emerge as separate personalities. So, on his walks, he hardly noticed the surroundings. Very occasionally only he noticed, or very rarely only he noticed the surroundings. I rattled along means I moved rapidly along the moorland. Moorland means it is a large area of hilly land covered with rough grass or low bushes that is not suitable for farming. So while he was traveling or moving, he hardly noticed what all are the things that was happening around him, but he understood that the district was beginning to take shape. Okay, some constructions are going on, and the people to emerge as separate personalities. Some new houses are built, so some changes are there. Most days I had a puncture. Okay, that his wheels got punctured. The tires were nearly worn through all the wheels. It surprised me that they took me anywhere at all. So the tires worn through all the wheels means so much holes there on all the wheels. But even though the tires got punctured many times, the car took him to the direction safely. Then the next passage, one of the few refinements on the car was rusty sunshine roof. So refinements means the special features. When we buy a phone or a car, then we will notice some of the special features. So here what is the special feature of this car? It was having a rusty sunshine roof. Okay, sunshine roof covered with rust. Okay, some cars you might have noticed they have got the sunshine roof, and this car also is having a sunshine roof, and it grated dismally when I slid it back, but most of the time I kept it open and the windows too, and I drove with the delicious air swirling about me. So it grated dismally. grated dismally means made a very unpleasant sound, scraping sound. So whenever he wanted to slide the sunshine roof, then he noticed that this car made a very unpleasant scraping sound. Then he always, what the trainee or James Harriet always did, he always kept the sunshine roof open so that he could enjoy the fresh air from outside. So the delicious air swirling about me, swirling means wind blowing all around someone or something. So he could enjoy the fresh air since the sunshine glass was or the roof was open. On wet days, it didn't help much to close the roof because the rain dripped through the joints and formed pools on my lap and the passenger seat. Even though the sunshine roof was there and it did not work very well during the rainy season. Why? Because the rain dripped through the joints because of the rust and other problems. The rainwater dripped inside the car and it made pools inside the car and the passenger seat. So there was not much use with this sunshine roof. Then I developed a great skill in zigzagging round puddles. So zigzagging means moving right and left. Okay, while driving the car, he developed a new skill, moving right and left when round puddles. Round puddles means round small pools. On the roads during the rainy season, we can notice that there are so much holes or the so many pools, small pools or gutters are there. While driving on such a kind of road, the person must be expert. He has to move right and left. So the author also did the same thing. He became a person skilled in moving the car left and right. Then to drive through was a mistake as the muddy water fountained up through the gaps in the floor boards. So on rainy season, driving the car on such a kind of roads, it was a great mistake. Why? The muddy water that came inside the car through the gaps in the floorboards. And the author continues, but it was a fine summer and long days in the open gave me a tan which rivaled the farmers. So we had seen that he always used to go keeping the sunshine roof open. So because of that he got the yellow color and which made him to compete with the farmers. Rivaled means compete with the farmers. Why? Because the farmers also is having the yellow color and now he also got the yellow color. Next page, page number 14. Even mending a puncture was no punishment on the high, unfenced roads with the wheeling curlews for company and the wind bringing the scents of flowers and trees up from the valley. So even repairing, mending means repairing the puncture. It was not a punishment for him at any cost. Why? Because unfenced roads, okay, the roads were not having any kind of fencing or anything, and wheeling curlews for company. Curlews means it is a bird. Always the birds used to come to him, near to him, whenever he used to puncture the or repair the punctured tire. Then the wind bringing the scents of flowers and trees up from the valley. So he got a fresh air, beautiful scented air from the valleys. So he was enjoying even the repairing work of the tires. Why? Because the unfenced doors are there and the birds are there for company and the fresh air was there. Then I could find other excuses to get out and sit on the crisp grass and look out over the airy roof of Yorkshire. So while the repair work was going on, he could just get out and sit on the crisp grass. Okay, the hard grasses or the bushes, he could sit there and look out of over the airy roof of Yorkshire. Yorkshire is the name of that district. So he was on the top of the hill. So he could see the air roof of the district or that particular village. It was like taking time out of life, time to get things into perspectives and assess my progress. So it was just like taking time out of life. What is the meaning of that? To stop doing something what we are doing right that moment and thinking about or doing something other thing. So we just stop all the things all over a sudden, and now then we just started to think about something. So it was that process. While he was sitting on the grass, he stopped thinking about all the things that he was doing earlier. Then he started to think about his life, his progress. It was a time for him to evaluate his progress, time to get things into perspective. Downside the meaning it is given to think about situations or problems in a reasonable, fair manner. So he could think about his life and all the things that is happening in his life in a fair manner. Everything was so different that it confused me. This countryside, after years of city streets, the sense of release from exams and study, the job with its daily challenge, and then there was my boss. So he was in a way enjoying his life as a trainee after the exam and after the study in this beautiful village. He was enjoying his life and everything was different for him. Okay, he used to have some other lifestyle. Now he got a new lifestyle, and one important change or the things that he can notice there, that is the boss, okay, the head, okay, who is that? That is Siegfried Farnon. Here you can notice that the last line of the paragraph, and then there was my boss, a particular time, my boss. Who is the boss mentioned here? You take page number 13, the introductory passage. He was the narrator, James Harriet. He was a vet trainee under the eccentric Siegfried Farnon. So Siegfried Farnon is the boss. And who is the narrator of this story or the author of this story? James Harriet. And James Harriet went to Siegfried Farnon for the training purpose. Okay, Siegfried is a veterinary surgeon, and James Harriet, after his studies, he went to Siegfried Farnon for the training purpose. And in the next paragraph, we will see some of the specialities of Siegfried Farnon. Siegfried Farnon charged round the practice with fierce energy from dawn till dark, and I often wondered what drove him on. The word practice means the workplace of the doctor or a lawyer. Charged round means worked. Fierce energy means with intense energy. Here narrator says that Siegfried Farnon, he used to work at his workplace with a great energy or intense energy from morning to evening or till dark, and narrator always wondered what was the reason for such a kind of great work and why he shows such a kind of enthusiasm. What was the driving force for Farnon to do all these works? Then the narrator himself says, James Harriet himself says that it wasn't money because he treated it with little respect. So it is not because of money he worked very hard in that hospital, but it was something else. Why? Because Siegfried Farnon, he treated money with a little respect. He was not so much interested with the money. And the reason he gives why he treated the money with a little respect, that is given in the next line. When the bills were paid, the cash went into a pot. He grabbed handfuls when he wanted it. He never collected money directly from others. Once the bill paid, the money went into a pot near to him, and whenever he needed the money, he used to pick some money from that one. Okay, he grabbed handful of money from the pot. I never saw him take out a wallet. No wallet with the Siegfried Farnon. But his pockets bulged with loose silver and balled up notes. Bulged means swelling or filled. Even though there was no wallet with him, but his pockets were filled with some balled up notes. What is the meaning of balled up notes? The paper which is made into ball shape, and sometimes we keep in our pockets after making the notes or something. Then we just make that paper into a ball shape, then keep into our pocket in hurry. The same way, his pockets also filled with balled up notes. And the narrator, when he pulled out a thermometer, they flew around him in a cloud. The narrator many times noticed that whenever the Siegfried, the doctor, the boss, he used to take the thermometer, then these balled up notes, they flew around him in a cloud. The next paragraph. After a week or two of headlong rush, he would disappear, maybe for the evening, maybe overnight, and often without saying where he was going. Headlong means careless or rash. After having a busy schedule, he used to disappear. Okay, 1 or 2 weeks, he worked very hard, then suddenly he disappears, maybe for the evening, maybe overnight, and often without saying where he was going. Without saying that where he was going, he used to disappear after the busy schedule. And then the narrator continues, he dashed off the list of calls each morning with such a speed that I was quite often sent hurrying off to the wrong farm or to do the wrong thing. When I told him later of my embarrassment, he would laugh heartily. So here we had seen that sometimes Dr. Siegfried Farnon used to disappear from the clinic or hospital. Before disappearing or before leaving the clinic or hospital, what Siegfried Farnon did, he made some notes. Dashed off means writing in fast. So he wrote some list of calls in a fast manner and gave that call list to James Harriet or the narrator, here the trainee, for what? In order to make the call to particular farm or do a particular thing. So such kind of things. Before leaving or before disappearing, Siegfried Farnon, he did in the morning and gave to the trainee or James Harriet or the narrator. But what the narrator did very often, quite often, sent hurrying off to wrong farm or to do the wrong thing. Many times what happened, the list of calls or the instructions that was given by Siegfried Farnon, okay, that was sent to wrong direction or the wrong place or wrong farm, or James Harriet did the wrong thing. So many mistakes. But when I told him later of my embarrassment, he would laugh heartily. So whenever he made a wrong call to the wrong person, the list of calls was given by Siegfried Farnon. But James Harriet made a mistake and many times he used to make call to wrong persons. So then after getting such a kind of calls and everything, and here James Harriet was very embarrassed and he was so much ashamed, then many times he said about these kinds of mistake that he made in his life to Siegfried Farnon. But Siegfried Farnon, he did not punish James Harriet or he did not take it very seriously. Instead of that, he just laughed. And I hope that so far it is clear to you. And in the next class, we will see one of the incident James Harriet had with his boss Siegfried Farnon, and that part is the main part of the story. Hope that it is clear to you. Once again, you just go through the lesson, and those who are having some confusions regarding the chapter and the word meanings, then they can contact me, and you must go through the chapter and find out the difficult words and find out the meanings your own. Thank you. Have a nice day.